COVID vaccine misinformation, not just engagement, but the reach of the misinformation and the audience that it's reaching. That will help us ensure we're getting accurate information to people. This should be provided not just to researchers, but to the public.
Thanks for tuning in, of course, whether you're watching on Gab TV, watching on Rumble, watching on YouTube, listening on Hameen Media Group, or maybe, just maybe, you're watching from your post at the new Capitol Police Field Office on orders from Jen Psaki. You know, to gather extremist content out of context to shut us down, destroy our lives, maybe put us in prison.
Let's just lay it out. I mean, without dangerous misinformation, we don't have a show. Oh, yeah.
Dangerous misinformation. I can't believe that shit. Like, they literally, we tried to tell you. I remember right after the fake inauguration, I was like, hey, don't worry, guys. They're going to be kicking your doors in if you say anything bad on the internet, if you're a dissenter. Yeah. And then, people were like, you're crazy. You're being ridiculous. Then, a few months later, I think Tucker Carlson came out and he's like, hey, they're spying on me.
Hey.
The NSA is reading my text messages. And people said, Tucker, you're crazy. And then a week after that, the press secretary goes out and is like, yes, we're watching out for dangerous misinformation. If they say anything bad in their text messages or on Facebook, we'll ban them from the internet.
It's almost like the communist one, people.
You know, we should call the show Dangerous Misinformation. A rebrand.
But then that makes it sound like, I don't know, like they actually have something like they have valid information. The War on Morons is an insult, and I like that.
And we're not really the ones that are misinforming anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, we take the piss out of it a little bit. We make jokes out of the news. It's fake news sometimes, but we're telling the truth. The people talking about dangerous information have literally lied about everything in the history of everything.
It is dangerous information because if you believe it. Then we're in a world of shit.
If you believe it, you're probably shooting poisons in your arm. If that didn't kill you yet, at least it sterilized you. If it didn't sterilize you, it probably paralyzed you. If it didn't paralyze you, well, you were brain dead to begin with.
Yeah.
I mean, case in point. Speaking of dangerous information, did you see in Texas, they had every Democrat in their state legislature left the state.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Yeah.
They went on a strike. Boy, they love labor strikes in the left, don't they?
They just don't want to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's a voting integrity bill there, so it's a little bit harder to cheat and steal elections. Not that ever happens. But yeah, so that's passing. It's going to pass because they're outnumbered and the people want it. The people don't want illegal immigrants and dead people and dead cats and fucking, Chinese teenagers playing Fortnite or whatever to be voting in our elections. So every Democrat in the legislature is like, hey, we found this thing on page whatever of the state constitution that says if we're not in the building when the vote happens, it doesn't count. They need 2/3 of the members of the House to be there. So hear me out. What if we spend $1.5 million? We charter a private jet, we grab a few cases of Miller Lite, and we just fly to Washington and hang out with our people.
I mean, honest to God, what did they think? Were they just never going to return?
They're wanted now. They're wanted fugitives. I think it's called the Sergeant of Arms or something. Basically, one of the top cops in Texas is looking for these motherfuckers. Like they're the fugitive.
You shouldn't have to look too hard. They're posting Instagram photos of themselves smiling with selfies and shit.
Well, no, the best thing is a bunch of them caught COVID. Literally, I think the count's up to 5 of these idiots. Now, of course, them being Democrats, they're 100% fully double vaccinated, maybe even triple vaccinated. Now, they weren't wearing masks on their plane ride. They already got in trouble for that, by the way. I guess it's illegal. I'm talking about being, what's the word, hoisted by your own retard?
I mean, what's the problem? They're vaccinated. They've been social distancing for 1.5 years now.
Well, they weren't social distancing. They were packed in pretty tight on that private jet.
For the previous 1.5 years. I mean, what's next? If you wear a bubble boy suit, you still have to wear a mask?
Well, I keep hearing stories about this. I've seen stuff on Twitter. And again, guys, I made a War on Morons Twitter. I barely ever fucking use it. But it does exist again just because just because it's fun to look at these idiots. But I keep seeing people on Twitter that are like these liberals that love to think they're always right and love to call us idiots because they have the memory span of a retarded goldfish. And they're like saying things like, I don't get it. I haven't left my house but 3 times in the last year. I'm double vaccinated. I always wear at least 2 masks. And I just tested positive for COVID.
Huh.
It's almost like it's in the shots.
It is almost like that. Or like the tests are faulty.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I just hope in this one instance, I hope that that 99.98% survivability rate, well, let's pump those numbers down a little bit. Because, and we might actually be breaking news here. In case you guys didn't know, Kamala Harris got rushed to Walter Reed Hospital on Sunday after meeting with these idiot Texas legislatures.
Huh.
They tried to, I mean, this is worse than 9/11 plus Pearl Harbor plus the Civil War. I mean, these are insurrectionists worse than the Civil War Confederates, as Biden would say. They tried to give Kamala basically bubonic plague.
Wow. I don't even know what they're going to do for her. I mean, we all know hydroxy, what's it called?
Maybe they should give her some laughing gas.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Anyway, moving on. Speaking of karma, an entirely different story here. But did you see a lightning strike destroyed a George Floyd mural in Toledo?
What?
Yes.
No, I did not see that.
This was like, I think it was like this time last week. So I don't even know how this happens. I've never heard of this happening. It's just a big mural of, the martyr George Floyd, the hero that we all, we don't deserve him. He's too big of a hero for all of us. But anyway, a lightning strike came out of nowhere and it blew the mural up. There's bricks everywhere. It's completely destroyed. Now there's police tape surrounding.
That's insane. That's insane.
I mean, in other news, Joe Biden has added God to his list of white supremacist domestic terrorists.
All right.
Jesus Christ is on the no-fly list.
Oh, my God.
What if God was one of... I know I've said that before, but this time I feel like he actually is. He's sick of this shit, too. Anyway, I think that's enough headlines.
Yeah, let's get things started in the...
Well, we got to talk about our craziest...
the crazy story that didn't have room for in the stack this week.
All right, what do you got?
TikTok trend of cleaning teeth with Mr. Clean Magic Eraser is surprisingly not safe, according to dentists.
What the fuck? So
people are posting life hacks on TikTok, and of course you don't have to be qualified to do so. So a person, I guess, started this trend of using these Mr. Clean Magic Erasers, which they feel like sponges, but if you don't know how they work, this is how they work. They're actually like insanely powerful exfoliators. They have like micro stones that just exfoliate the shit out of anything.
Well, and I assume they're full of chemicals and bleach and stuff, right?
Not so much. I mean, maybe a little, but it's mostly just the fact that they're like, they can scrub paint off your walls, for God's sake.
So think about what they can do to your plaque.
And your enamel.
Ding! Maybe we can do that in post. We can make it look like I've got super white teeth.
Oh, yeah.
I just used a Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, kids. It's safe. Trust me, but only if you're fully vaccinated. If you've gotten both of your shots, it'll get your teeth looking super, super clean.